What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with Technical Solutions. I hope that you guys are all having an amazing day. So thank you guys again for joining us for another helpful video. I have not done a video like this, and I kind of want to just bring it back just today. I just finished a bunch of meetings for today, and I have a little bit of time before I have to go get some work done for my tenants and stuff like that. I have to send out some invoices. But I wanted to break down some stocks step by step, like for all those that are joining, because we've been here for about a year. So if you guys don't know who it is that we are, we're a group. It's Technical Solutions. We have over 60,000 members within our networking platform. It's the second link in the description if you would love to be a part of it. We'd love to have you. It's a free networking group. We don't tell you what to trade. We share our best practices on what has led to our success, our mistakes, so you don't have to make the same mistakes that we've made. So that's the whole idea of it. So I want to thank you guys for taking time out of your Sunday to join us. If you guys are joining us for the first time, please feel free to give the video a thumbs up and stay subscribed. But yeah, let's go ahead and get right to it. I'm going to start sharing my screen. You guys are going to be seeing step by step on kind of like this. I'm going to pop it up. I'm going to talk about support and resistance, when the confirmation is, setting my alerts and stuff like that. So really planning out my trade. And I have my sticky note right here. It's usually what I do. And I put it right on my I put it on my whiteboard right there. So I know on Monday that not only do I have my alerts set, but that I also, have it on a piece of paper just to stay reminded, right? My style of trading right now is a little bit more of a swing trading style. So if you're a student, if you're busy, if you have a full-time job, then this might be the best type of trading style for you. I aim for anywhere from about 15 to 20% on a weekly basis. The people that I mentor, I try to target anywhere from 5 to 7% on a weekly basis. So I hope that, we can work together. And let me just go ahead and start sharing my screen. So I'm going to say what's up to a couple of you. So thank you again for tuning in live. Let me go ahead and hide this. Boom, boom, boom. Let me pull this up first and then like that. There we go. So what's up? What's going on? What's up? What's up? What's up? All right, there we go. There we go. No, it's Saturday today. Saturday, boys. What's up? What's up? PXS. So I'm just going to do the first one because he's been asking me. Or they've been asking me right here for TEUM. So TEUM. So we've broken this one down before. So this is the 1 day, 1 minute chart. For those that don't know what platform I'm using, what software, this is the TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim platform. If you Google it, and if you're within the United States, I've made a video talking about my setup completely. Feel free to search that up on YouTube. But it is a free brokerage, interactive broker, right? So real time. But if you do want to use it and actually trade, they do charge commissions, and you can get it down to $4.95 per trade. Or if you're funding your account at least $3,000, you can use promo code 220 and you will get 500 free trades. So I am not affiliated with TD Ameritrade in any way. So I just really, like talking about that promotion, because those that are coming from Robinhood, I feel like the free, what's it called? The free trades, the free 500 trades for, I believe, the first 90 days is really beneficial. So, okay, so this is my breakdown. I'm going to go back the full 180 days. And something that I can see about TEUM is that it's all over the place, right? Realistically, it has a pretty solid support at around 80 cents. So what that means is within the past couple of months, it's been holding very well. It's been bouncing right at this 80-cent mark, right? It holds above it, consolidates, and starts to trend up, comes back, pulls back, consolidates, holds above 80 cents, and then pushes up. So because of that, I'm focusing on this area right here. And you can see that it's showing signs of a downward pattern. Let me ask you one thing, realistically. Is TEUM a stock that usually, just hits 80 cents and pops straight up? Not necessarily. It does sometimes, right? Boom, it popped there. It took a couple of days for consolidation here. One of the things that I do like about TEUM, I mean, first of all, I don't really like stocks less than $1. I'm just being honest, right? I feel like they're too risky, and if you're just starting out, they're probably not the safest trades. So full disclosure there. With that being said, where does this stock, I'm just identifying the low points and the high points. So within this margin, where does this stock almost always hit, right? Where does it peak out at? What's a good sell point? We've identified a good buy point right near the support. Where's a good sell point? I would say around 120. And the reason that I say that is realistically when it gets going, right, when it consolidates and pushes up, hits 120, consolidates, pushes up, 120, pushes up, does hit above 120 from time to time, but it does a lot of consolidation. Consolidation means that it like holds around that area for a good amount of time. So around 120, pulls back, support, boom, 120, pulls back, going based off the previous pattern. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set my alert here if it goes below 80 cents, just to stay up to date, be like, okay, TEUM dropped below 80 cents. That's breaking its pattern. So I'm going to set my alert if it goes below that. One of the things that this is my trading style, and I don't buy when it's at the lowest point. I think that's irrelevant, right? It comes down to opportunity cost, and let me know if I lose you. It's very simple. So you're investing your money for it to make you money. And is it making you any money when it's just sitting there at 80 cents? These bars are all days, right? These black spaces, these are all days, right? Because I have it on the 4-hour chart. So just to put into perspective, is it making you any money? Like, it was at $1 and you're holding it at $1. Is it making you any money right now? No, if anything, you're down or it's still trending down. I think that there's a lot of consolidation that still needs to happen at around 80 cents. And I want to catch TEUM or any stock that I'm trading as it's actively trending up. To put into perspective, do you see how TEUM was previously consolidating at 80, 81 cents? Like, that's fine and all, but you're also investing, let's say you have, $10,000, you're investing $10,000 here, and for about 3 days, there's no movement. It can go down, it can go up, opportunity cost, not really worth it. But when it gets going, when you can see the volume is a little bit more present, as you can see right here, volume is a little bit more present. It actually broke above the EMA line, and the candles are actually going. Then that's when it's an active mover. So there's a difference from an active mover, and there's a difference from a potential watch, and that's why I have 2 watch lists. I feel like that's pretty effective. I have my first watch list, which is a series of active movers, so stocks that are currently trending up, and also stocks that are not trending up. So with that being said, just wanted to break that down. I would say when TEUM really starts, and gets going is when it usually breaks above $1. It really pushes up, bounces previously at $1. So with that being said, however conservative it is that you want to be. Right now, it's about 90 cents. I feel like it could move around that price point. So I am going to set my alert when it breaks above $1. So I want to make sure that I'm kept up to date with TEUM when it breaks above, well, whatever, I'll just put it there. When it breaks above $1, and that is giving away some margin, right? Because I can buy potentially at 80 cents, sell, at let's say at $1. That's 25%. But the confirmation, I feel like with my success rate when it comes down to investing, I want to make sure that I'm not getting in right now, and then for the potential to drop is greater. And there's no confirmation that it's bouncing at 80 cents, that it's validating the previous support. Margin of profit, that's step 1, right? From 80 to $1 or 120. We identified a pattern on where it normally bounces at. Great. Second thing is I wait for a confirmation. So I'm going to wait for it to break above $1, and I can capitalize from $1 to $1.20, about 20% potential. So step 2. And then third thing is setting your alerts and then taking a position when that confirmation is set. So again, that's why you set your alerts. You write it down on a piece of paper, however it is that you want to formulate it. And when it's relevant to you and when it makes sense as a good investment, then that's when you choose to take a position. So I hope that was a pretty in-depth breakdown. So, alrighty, appreciate it. Thanks. Okay, so you're in at 105 right now. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So let me go ahead and I'm going to cover. So I'm going to cover real quick KEM, AMD, and Go. Richard, I will cover that, but I always cover, these are the stocks that I almost always trade. Richard, if you can do me a favor, I will come back to those, okay? I'm going to cover just random other ones that other people are calling out. Thank you. So this is how I want you guys to call them out. You guys are doing your own technical analysis. So KRO, thank you, Joel. Okay. Wow, I like this. 180-day analysis. Do you see the difference from KRO and TEUM? on the 180 day. 180 day for TEUM, it's more of a horizontal pattern, right? Not a lot of upward pattern, not a lot of a downward, pattern. It's kind of just horizontal, low points, high points, very easy to do. KRO, what do you see? A solid uptrend pattern. What does that what does that pattern kind of almost suggest? It's probably a better company. It's growing, month after month, year after year, and stuff like that, right? So let's go a little bit further back. 1 year chart. We can go as far back as okay. So huge consistent growth. That's great. I'm going to test something real quick. So I had every $10. Boom, broke that. 15. Okay. Do you see that every $5 something that I noticed real quick, I had a previous somewhat support, some consolidation happened here. That's about $10. It bounced here at about 5. It came here at around 10. Again, it split right there, and then came about here, some consolidation here at around 15, some consolidation here at around 20, some consolidation, pushed up, pulled back, pushed up. So because now we're approaching 30, based on its pattern, we would only expect this thing to continue trending up, right? But how much and when? Then looking at the 30-day analysis, it hit 30 and it pulled back. That is 100% expected. Oh, it has a dividends payout soon of 15 cents. I like it. So okay, that's good. 90-day analysis. Alrighty, there it goes. You see that consolidation when it pushed up, it consolidated here. Kind of holding above $26. It pushed up, couldn't pass 30, pulled back, and now it's bouncing at the support at around 26.50. So I'm going to put the support at $26. It's at $30. Very simple, I think, to understand, right? So there's this margin of potential profit from 26, 15%. Based on its current price, it looks like it pumped up pretty nicely on Friday. I would expect somewhat of a little pullback. Do you see how it pushed up like this, 2 days before that, so Wednesday, and then pulled back on Thursday, pulled back on Friday, and then pumped up again? I think that it's showing signs of a downward pattern. Do you see that? It's more of a bear flag and stuff like that. So it looks like it's actually trending down. Do you see? So I would like to wait for a confirmation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my alert when it makes new lows based on the past 5 days. Boom, boom, boom. And obviously, because of the dividends payout, we might see more people try to buy in and stuff like that, and then there might be a little bit of a dump after. But once my alert goes off that it dropped and it hit at $26, I'm going to set my alert when it breaks above 27. And the reason that I'm going to do that is I want to catch it as it's trending back up from 27 to $30. And that would be my breakdown. So from 27 to $30, that's about 10% potential for profit. And how long will it take most likely to cover that? Well, last time that it broke from, when it was actively trading and trending up, $7, it took 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, 7 to kind of peak out. So about a week based on its previous pattern. Does that mean 100% that's going to be set? No, nothing's 100%. So I'm going to write that down real quick. I actually really like the pattern. So KRO support, that's going to be at $26 for me. Resistance is going to be at 30. And then I have my alert set. I'm also going to set my alert that all of a sudden if it, really starts to push and breaks above 28, it'd be interesting to watch. So thank you for calling that one out. Okay, let's do LB real quick. Alrighty, so LB on this 180-day analysis, you can see that it came from downward. Oh, wow, what the heck? Let's see, 1 year analysis. Okay, so it almost built that perfect cup. Do you see this like previous support, previous resistance that it has at about $55? Okay, well, you would only expect this to be a solid resistance, and for it to pull back, it's too far away from the EMA line. I think every time that do you see this EMA line? This is what I look at for a confirmation that it's trending up on the 180-day analysis. That's my confirmation for like a good swing trade. That's just what I used. It doesn't mean that you have to use it. But with that being said, when it holds above the EMA line, it looks like it identifies a pattern or confirms a pattern of it trending up. When it's below the EMA line, do you see this line and how it's trending below? It's seeing signs of a downtrend. So with that being said, it's way above the EMA line and it's expected to see a pullback. Every time that it pushes up that far, it pulls back. Pushes up, pulls back. There's not one time that the EMA line has not caught up with it. So with that being said, is I'm going to set my alerts on the pullback at 51.93. It's just below $52. I don't think the price is too relevant, but I think this is something to follow up with, because if it continues this push up, this isn't something that offers huge margins, right? That's something to understand, but it offers decent margins that are realistic, that, and you can identify the pattern and why it would peak out there. So on a pullback, there would be no question that, this thing can come back up to $55. And if not, you can cut losses if it goes below, whatever it is, $50, and you can cut losses at 1.73%, and whatever it is. Just make sure that the trade is worth taking for you. So thank you for calling that one out again. Pablo Escobar, you have no idea of what's going on. I'm actually trying to break it down and make it super simple to understand. So that's not very encouraging. I apologize for that. All right. So let me try this one out. TTMI. TTMI. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. I see why you might think that it has that 10% potential because of that pullback that it had. So it makes sense. I would just like to see more of a confirmation. So something that we can do is, do you see how it's trending below the EMA line? Let's actually get a little bit closer. So there we go. It did pull back, so it broke the pattern. This was a previous support, $16. It broke below that. So I would like to get a confirmation that it's too close, though. We need more consolidation. So I'm gonna have to set it at, I'm gonna set it at 1650. It just doesn't leave a lot of margin left. But if it breaks above 1650, then that's a confirmation that it's trending back up. The MACD indicator, the RSI, looks good. It's pretty low, so that shows signs of potential recovery. The MACD is starting to, show signs of potential, a curve back up, which shows up for a potential bounce. But the price that it was at before, $17, was a previous support, so I could see why it did pull back. I'm also going to set my alert if it completely breaks its patterns. Then if it goes below about $15. But yeah, so we have our alert set. Thank you for that call out. Alrighty, Frank. Can you explain what an EMA line is? All right, so BOMAC. So I do have a video that covers it. You guys can simply go on YouTube and search up EMA line, and I go into detail. Exponential moving average. So that's like Chinese, means nothing to you, right? What it really means is, I really like looking at it for swing trades. So do you see that this blue line? You see the candlesticks, right? You see the candlesticks are below the blue line, right? That means the pattern is trending down, which is not something that you want to invest to grow your money. So the EMA line does a really good job, in my opinion, on letting you know if the stock is trading above the EMA line, then it's showing signs of an uptrend pattern, so growth. So that's good, right? Growth. If it's below the EMA line, shows a downward pattern. Very simple. But you can also use it for intraday plays. So that means as day trades, which is something that I use. I use the combination of VWAP for XXII. I focus a little bit more on VWAP and EMA. So I focus on the bottom VWAP to see the low points, and then I wait for the break above the EMA usually to confirm an up pattern. But it doesn't work always the same way because my exponential moving average, it's a 15. The length is 15, so it's a little bit different. So you're going to want to look into it, see what works best for you and your trading style. I change it up from time to time depending on how it is that I'm trading, but it's been working pretty well for me. So yeah, so mine is 15. So mine's a little bit longer. So what that means is I like to focus more on, if the stock all of a sudden pushes up to like $2.50, and I was down here at like 230, my EMA line, if it was shorter, it would move up a lot quicker. And I like to focus less on volatility and more on consistency and more stretched out growth. I think it's more of a solid confirmation. I'll do XNET and then I'll keep it there. Okay, so I see why you guys are calling out XNET. Mr. Ferris is one that's really popular within our group that calls out XNET time after time, and it's one that he trades very often. One of the things that I do like about this pattern is that it has an ascending uptrend. Do you guys see that? So it has these pullbacks where it pulls back and it starts to consolidate and stuff like that. On the 180-day, it is breaking above the EMA. So as long as it continues this pattern, just make sure that whatever it is that you're investing in is showing growth. If you see in one day it saw 13% growth, just ask yourself on its previous pattern when it sees huge green days, what are the days that usually follow? Are they all consistent green days, or do some red days follow? Just be aware of that. So right now we're holding above 15, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so we're holding above 15, and it's holding above the EMA, and the EMA is right around that 15 to 15.10 mark. So as long as we continue to hold above the $15, and as long as we continue to hold above $15 and the EMA line, then that's showing signs of growth. So I would set my alerts. I'm going to set it at $16 as we get more of a confirmation that it's actually trending up. But just to validate that, again, nothing is 100%. That's why you should never rely on any indicators, not EMA, not anything. But the MACD indicator is indicating an uptrend pattern. Do you see that? It built this little hill and started trending back up, and it's now green. It usually does this when it's trending up. EMA line, it's broken above the EMA line, and the RSI indicated that it was oversold almost perfectly, right, with the lowest point and where our support line was drawn and stuff like that. So just to put it into perspective on how important that is, it is up. It has been up a lot within the past 3 days. So just be aware of that. But it has been showing signs of a consistent upward trend. I don't know anything about the company, so I simply just wanted to, break it down based on your guys' suggestions. But okay, that's so Mike, blah, 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 blah. Why did CENX go up to 1480 in 15 minutes one day and back to 1330? There was news. It's all about volume and demand, right? So he's talking about the push that it had. We were trading it this day when it was at 1350 and then pushed all the way up to above 1450. That was very unexpected, right? The margins that we usually try to capitalize on are from 1350 to about like 1450, and it takes usually 2 to 3 days, not a matter of minutes. So because it pushed up so quickly, there was a catalyst. So I would look into it. I forgot what the news was, but there was an article that came out, something to support the case and what caused a huge volume spike. You could see the volume drastically pushed up, and that's a direct correlation to the demand of CENX. The following day, I'm guessing they devalued the news or whatever that catalyst was, drove the price down to new lows of $13, and then it has been holding above $13 the entire time. If it breaks that pattern, then CENX is out of the question. But ever since it's been this low, it's been very easy to identify the low points and the high points from 13 to 1350, and being able to scalp like intraday plays for about 2 to 3%, which are pretty nice day trades in my opinion. But they don't have to be in your opinion. That's just my breakdown. So, alrighty, guys. I don't trade options, but sorry about that, Quan. Alrighty, but that is pretty much it. So I just wanted to kind of like show you guys how I break down. So break down these stocks. So to do that is that for those that are just starting out, I want to make sure that you guys understand 3 things. And these are rules that we have within our group, and I hope that they can truly guide you in the right direction. So the first one is you should never trade based on anyone else's opinion. The market is very accessible. Like you can deposit some money today's Saturday, and by Monday in your Robinhood account, Fidelity, TD Ameritrade, Shirt Trader, whatever it is, you can have your money available to trade. And people think that just because they have access to the money and access to a potential trader that does pretty well, that they can do the same thing that they can do. So if you have $5,000 and I take $5,000 positions, I can promise you that you will not on a consistent basis be able to bring in what it is that I bring in, because I have a much better understanding of the market, especially if you're just starting out. With that being said, is that something that's discouraging or something that you shouldn't pursue? No, it just means that you have to dedicate a little bit more time to learn about the market, how it works, and the mechanics. It's just like investing in any market. Every market is profitable. Real estate, starting your business, Forex, trading in the stock market, penny stocks, whatever it is, it's all profitable, but you want to make sure that you understand what it is that you're doing. So that's my first recommendation. If you don't understand what you're doing, or all this sounds like kind of gibberish, then I would dedicate a little bit more time to doing it. We have so many people within our group that dedicated 2 to 3 weeks and just dived in. We have a series of helpful videos within our YouTube channel. You guys can, after this is done, feel free to click on my YouTube channel. A series of helpful videos talks about the very basics of support, resistance, EMA, MACD indicator, setting up your scanners, everything that is that you need to know. And if you don't, then you have Google. You have Google and YouTube, all the resources that you need. So please dedicate time, learn about the market, and then go from there. The second thing is, please do your own due diligence before taking a position. If someone tells you based on a alert or something to trade this or trade that, this is popping or this is a good buy, no, it's like you have to have an understanding of why it's a good buy. If I have a 2013 Honda Civic and it's worth $10,000, and because I'm a successful reseller for Honda Civics, let's say, I'm gonna be like, hey, I'll sell you this Honda Civic for $12,000 so you can sell it for $15,000. It's like, no, you need to make sure that you understand the markets. You need to make sure that you understand Honda Civics and what they usually sell for within your area or within, the days that you are going to sell it, and make sure that it's a realistic margin of profit that's worth your time and also your effort. Your time is very valuable. So just dedicate time to learn about the market. I know you guys are like, well, what the heck? What does a Honda Civic have to do with anything? It's a more tangible kind of product that you can buy and resell. I feel like because the stocks are so intangible, people just throw their money, invest their money into the market without any understanding. So I want to make sure that you guys treat every single position that you take in the stock market that it's a good deal, that you guys are getting it for a really good deal so you guys can later sell it for a profit. Work much more on that and less on, hey, what can I make the most money on every single day? And or a good goal to have to first have an understanding on how to invest in the market first. And then the third thing is just make sure you plan out your trade. In every market, both real estate, buying and reselling cars, and trading, or any market, you always have to have a form of risk management. So please manage your risk, set a stop loss, where you're buying, where you're selling, where you're cutting your losses. And this is something that I do for every single member that's part of my mentorship and lesson library. So if you guys don't know what that is, if you guys want to learn a little bit more about it, we have a new homepage landing, so feel free to check it out. It's the first link in the description, and it tells you a little bit more about me, a little bit more about my team, and kind of like how I work with traders on a one-on-one basis, both investing in the stock market and the series of markets that I invest in. So I hope that what it is that I've created can provide some value for you. Altogether, I do have my free YouTube channel, but for those that are willing to take this a little bit more serious and dedicate a little bit more time, then feel free to click on the link and let me know what you guys would like to do. But altogether, all the links are down below for you guys to stay connected with my group, with my social media accounts, and all that good stuff. So really just it. I'm just reading some of the messages and stuff like that. But yeah, so thank you guys again for your time. I hope that this video was helpful for you and having a better understanding of the stock market and kind of preparing a little bit more. But please just write down your trades, just write down those 3 simple rules, and I really hope that they can guide you in the right direction. All the links, like I said, are down below, and I would love to be a part of your success. Continue working hard, continue following your dreams, let your passion be what drives you to success. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, guys.